was coming into skateboarding as a, you know, when I was a kid, like the whole like tech like thing was really big in skateboarding. So like I said, like Tensor had like plastic based little like slider plate on it, and the shoes were like out of control, like super big. Like if any of you remember the Osiris D3s were like the crazy. Like you couldn't even bend the shoe at all, but it was like the dopest shoe. Like everybody wanted it. I don't know how anybody skated in that shoe. It was literally like a platform shoe, and these things where they had like all these little like swirls on them and airbags through the whole thing. It was kind of out of control. It was basically like, let's think of as much technology as we possibly can and throw it into like one thing. And that's how it was for the entire like skate industry. Like boards were like coming out with this like crazy technology. Like Element had like the feather lights, and then whatever like companies had like guarantees you couldn't break their board. And like I remember like LibTech skateboards had like the little like plastic ply as like the bottom ply, so you like do better slides and stuff like that. I don't know, kind of got out of control for a little bit there, but I feel like once like Reynolds got popular and he had that one shoe in America, it was like the gum colorway that like everybody wanted, like super simplified. Like people started like learning, all right, like you can't do all this like tech stuff, and kind of mellowed out with all this craziness. So first skate video I ever owned was like some sort of trick tips video, but the first like real skate video I ever owned was Black Label's Label Kills. Still to this day I love watching that video. It's a dope video. I don't have any more of my skate videos. My best friend at the time, Todd Scarfy, he's out there watching. I was moving. It's the reason I gave him all my skate videos. So I lived on the other side of town. My parents ended up moving to the same side of town, like literally the same block over from where my boy Todd lived. So I gave him all of my skate videos before the move for him to like safekeeping or whatever. And I would go over to his house to watch skate videos anyway. So I ended up never getting them back, but I'm pretty sure he still got them. But the first skate video I ever had was Label Kills. That was a sick video, like Mike Valley's part in there was like crazy. It looks like he shot it like a one day. He just like started skating down the street and did all like crazy stuff. And Christian Svitak's part was dope. Yeah, skateboarding is one of those things that like once you really are, once you've got that bug, once you've got that itch for skateboarding, and it's not just like a weekend thing that you do or whatever, like just because all your friends are doing it, it kind of just sticks with you forever. At least the mindset, you might not be, like for me for instance, I haven't like had a serious session and haven't had a serious session in like a year, but whenever I hear that like of like somebody skating down the sidewalk or whatever, like gives me like, doesn't give me chills, but I always turn my head and like see like, okay, like what's going on, like who is that, whatever. It makes me miss it. Now it's getting warmer out, whatever, more people are skating around, I'm like, fuck, I need to start skating again before I get too old. And we got tons of skate parks here in Brooklyn, so I'm hoping to hit one of them up. But yeah, once you get that bug for skateboarding, that never leaves you for sure. First time I got arrested was for skateboarding. I remember it was me, this kid, my best friend also, Matt, this kid, Mike, and my boy Todd. We were skating this tiny little like 3-stair at some church or something like that in the back. And of course, like dude that like was a janitor or something like that called the cops on or like told us to leave or whatever. And like, okay, like yeah, we'll leave. We like hung around for like a couple minutes. Sure enough, he like calls the cops. It's like 2 minutes, the cops are there, and this is when the church was right across from the middle school, so I'm in like maybe like 5th grade, so I'm like what, like 12 or whatever it is. The cops come, they're like, yeah, take down all of our information or whatever, blah blah blah. You know, call our parents, all this stuff. I think they like put us in the car or whatever, just like scare us. They didn't like I don't think you're allowed to handcuff anybody, but they, you know, they basically tried to like scare us or whatever. I remember my friend Matt was obsessed with oh no, this is Fuck, I lost that book. Found it. I remember my friend Matt was obsessed with Mark Appleyard for whatever reason, so when the cops were taking down all our info, you know, they were asking for our name and whatever, and I gave my real name or whatever, my home phone number. We didn't have cell phones at the time, and my friend Matt gave, he said his name was Mark Appleyard, and he gave some ludicrous phone number I didn't remember, and I don't know, I remember that. That made me laugh looking back on it. Middle school and high school, just skate non-stop, always. Everything was about skating, daydream about skating, you know, doodle in your notebooks during class about skating. Nothing mattered at that point in time, just skate all the time. Anywhere we had to go, we would skate there. Like center of town, like grab a Slurpee, whatever, we would skate there. Everything was just skate, skate, skate. You know, everybody always gives that cliche of like, skateboarding, you know, saved my life or whatever, it taught me to like think differently and think outside the box. And they always use the cliche of like, you know, when a normal person looks at a handrail, they just see it as something like help them down the stairs. When I see handrail and escape possibilities, like, yeah, that's true. Like, I always, like, for instance, right here in Brooklyn, like all the curbs are like have a little like metal coping, like cap on them. So of course, like, you know, you always look at it like, oh, I could do like a dope like slappy grind on whatever, like skating home from work or whatever. The one thing I feel like not a lot of people touch on is skateboarding is like gives you an unbelievable amount of like persistence and like mental endurance. Like, I'm not a good skateboarder by any means. Like, I remember basically how did it go? I learned ollies, 180s, and then I was like, all right, let me learn kickflips. I didn't even bother with like heel flips. I still to this day can't really do heel flips. I don't know why. But kickflips, I remember trying to learn kickflips. I shit you not, from when I started skating for a good like 2 years, just trying one trick. It's like, all right, let me do this, and I would like spend like 4 hours non-stop, like back and forth on my drive, like kickflip attempt, kickflip attempt, kickflip attempt, kickflip attempt, all day. Just obsessing over one trick. That was like supposed to be a super simple, like whatever, like super easy trick. But for me, it was hard. Like, I wasn't necessarily gifted in the genre of skateboarding. But the fact that like I was so possessed, it wasn't even an obsession. I was possessed. Like, I gotta learn kickflips. I have to learn kickflips. And I would spend like basically what people spend on a full-time job just learning one trick. And this is as a kid. This is like as a 12-year-old. I'm putting that much effort and work into it. So I know people say like, yeah, it helps you think differently and think outside of the box and look at the world different, which is true. Like, you know, I'm not discrediting that, but I think the numero uno thing is like it teaches you like mental persistence and just like go, like whatever you want to do, like go for it and just like don't stop until you get it. It teaches you just like hard work. Like, if you don't come home with bloody elbows and just like shirt just like shredded up and just like crusty with sweat, then like you didn't have a good like skate session that day. Like your day sucked. Like, I remember as a kid like breaking my first board. It was like, all right, damn, like I gotta get a new board. But it was like, fuck, that's like dope. Like, I was skating that hard that like I actually like destroyed like this piece of wood that I've been riding around. And then of course after that, it's just annoying. Life lessons from skateboarding. One day I was just like, all right, well, Photoshop. So I just sat at my computer for hours and hours until I learned it. I bought this book, and it basically was like a book that was just like step by step. All right, learn this, learn this, learn this, learn this, and it just built on everything you had learned previously, which is the same with skateboarding, right? You learn how to ollie, then it's all right. Well, I'm gonna apply the ollie, and then I'll learn how to flip my board. So then it's like, all right, learn how to ollie. Let me learn how to ollie and flip my board. So all right, kick flip, boom, 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 and then you build. All right, let me learn how to 3 flips. All right, we're gonna pop shovels first. You just keep building on everything that you've learned. So that's how this book was structured. So maybe that's how it worked out really well. But now, of course, I have a job where I mainly use Photoshop all day. Skateboarding, 100% changes how you look at it, basically how you handle life, without a doubt. Bones wheels, I think at one point they were 52s, they're probably 50s now. Bearings are no bueno, they're like super rusty. Should've got new bearings. Anyway, on like life lessons from skateboarding, the next greatest thing. Well, I say greatest thing with a grain of salt. Greatest, but also like a curse. Skateboarding basically gives you this mindset of like never being like happy with what you've got, right? Because like I said before, as soon as you learn how to ollie, it's like, okay, well, what's the next trick? All right, let me learn how to 180. All right, as soon as you learn to 180, then it's like, okay, well, let me learn how to kickflip. And it's like, all right, well, I know how to 180 and I know how to kickflip, so let me learn how to frontside flip or backside flip. This constant like, all right, well, I learned this, and you don't like rest on your laurels. It's like, all right, I learned this, like let me move to the next step and learn something else. That's how I am with my life in general. Like as soon as I do something new, I always want to like take it to the next step. Anyway, so putting the wheels on, I always like it when you got just that little bit of wiggle in there. Awesome. So we're all set up. Ready neck, ready trucks, old wheels. A little bit of old, a little bit of new. Oh yeah, the trucks are super loose. Alright, let's tighten this up a little bit. Those are way too loose. Right off the bat, this board is super huge. My whole like mindset behind this is if I like going with the bigger board was like, I don't know, in my head like I'm picturing like just having more like room to like set up for tricks and do stuff. I don't know. Mentally in my head it makes sense. I can't really put it to words though. Let's see if this is any better. It's gonna be a fun board. These trucks gonna get tighter. That's my story. First love of my life, and her name is skateboarding. As always, peace.